She sat, calm and still, and beautiful and soft. My mama. We knew where this was going. Everyone had told us there wasn't much time. And mostly, I just busied myself with the business of taking care of her. There were hospice nurses to call back, morphine prescriptions to call in, voicemails from something called a spiritual advisor who offered to sing at her bedside. But at that moment, I wasn't scurrying or tending or fixing the blankets or putting water in a straw to run on her sweet, chapped lips. I was just listening and thinking. There was a lot of quiet, a lot of hand-holding, foot rubbing, and nothingness. I read to her, and she sighed. She sat up in bed, adjusting the pillow. And then she said real things, the juice of all words, the words you remember forever. She told me that there were all kinds of decisions in life. Some are big, some are small, some have a big impact, some you don't feel a thing. She grabbed my hand and quietly looked at me. But you were my best decision. And that was it, right there. The dying words, the words that validated my very life. It was 1974, and Sarah Jo Johnson was smart, progressive, just out of college. Cancer had just ravaged her mom the way it would her own vessel years later. She was wounded from the grief of losing her mother, thrust into a role of taking care of her dad and younger siblings. And yes, on occasion, she was a little naughty. When she could let loose, she was carefree, singing with her girlfriends late at night, smoking her parliaments, among parties and friends in her young adult world in Minneapolis. Amidst a lot of responsibility in her 20-something life, she could be the life of the party. Her giggle was infectious. And then she was pregnant. That man she'd been dating, she called him transitional. He wasn't interested in being a dad. Not at all, not one bit. And I guess she didn't think he was all that up for the task either. What I knew of the tale was that he never wanted kids, and he told her that whatever she chose to do, she would choose alone. She felt pressured, panicked, even hysterical. But she made her decision. My mom wanted to keep me. It was there in that panic that she met a dear friend, a friend who promised her that if she wanted to have a baby, she would be by her side every step of the way. And with her promise, and with no one but the doctor and this new friend in the delivery room, so began my childhood. Over the years, we talked about it, but only a little. She was always willing to answer any questions that I had. What was my dad's real name? Well, his name was Nick, hun. Well, what did he look like? You, sweetie, he looked a lot like you. Do you want to know more? I don't think so. I was afraid of hurting her, of implying that she wasn't enough, of making her feel like I needed more than the enormous love that she already gave me. She went on to marry a man that she loved, and they had more daughters, each her gifts, she would say. 4 of us sisters. And as our family changed and formed, I didn't ask much, ever. It came up a few times, 2 or 3 times over the span of my childhood, then adulthood, then me having babies, and amidst lots of late-night conversations. But that was a place that we didn't really go. But there we were at the very end, the last time to really talk. It was the last of the lasts. And it must have been so much pressure to know at that grave moment, what can I say? What words could I leave my daughter with? But she chose perfectly. You were my best decision. And then she gave me one more chance. Last chance to dance, sweetheart. Is there anything about your dad that you want to know? I looked at her with her hand on my hand. She was so soft, yet strong. She had never been afraid of truth. She offered me every detail with nothing held back. But I said no. My time with her over my life and my time with her in these last few moments was too valuable to dredge up the past. What I really wanted was just her and me, my mom and me. No stories, no old truths, no names of people who had never set foot in my life, just us. I'm a mom too, and I know motherhood is far from perfect and even farther from easy. I also know that at my mom's deathbed, she questioned what she had accomplished for herself. Had she made her individual, unique contribution to this big yet small world? She said the words, "Did I do anything?" She struggled with her life, her death, her readiness to leave this world. She knew she'd been gypped. "I'm not done here," she proclaimed. So as someone who sat with death's drape over precious last words, I can't promise you that you'll get to sum it all up, that you'll find the words for your exit from this world. But I can tell you that it's the simplicity that is the most beautiful. I'm so glad I had you. I'm so glad you were in this life with me. You were my best decision. That is motherhood.